Welcome to Slavic Voice. Our top story tonight. The European Parliament remains silent after Ukrainian President Zelensky's controversial remarks aimed at Hungarian Prime Minister Orbán, sparking outrage from Slovak and Czech leaders.
That's right, Victor. A firestorm is brewing in Central Europe over comments perceived as threats and a lack of official response from Brussels.
Let's begin with the facts. Mila, can you detail the initial event that set this off?
Of course, the situation began on March 5, 2026. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed the ongoing issue of Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán blocking a €90 billion EU aid package for Ukraine. In his comments, Zelensky made a statement that has been widely interpreted as a direct threat. He suggested that if Orbán continues to block the funds, they should, quote, give his address to our troops so they can speak in their language. This rhetoric invoking military personnel to speak with the foreign leader was seen by many as crossing a significant diplomatic line, escalating the political dispute into the realm of physical intimidation.
A very strong statement. Following this, the focus shifted to Brussels, where an official response was expected, but that's not what happened.
Now, it was quite the opposite. When the issue was brought forward, the European Parliament's leadership voted down a proposal to even hold a debate on the matter. There was no official discussion on the record about President Zelensky's comments. Sources suggest this was to avoid a politically messy confrontation and maintain a facade of unity regarding Ukraine. But the decision to prevent any debate has clearly backfired, causing even greater division.
And what about Hungary itself? Surely they had the most to say about this. How did Budapest react to both the initial comments and the EU's subsequent silence?
The reaction in Hungary was immediate and furious. The Hungarian Foreign Ministry summoned the Ukrainian ambassador for an explanation, calling the statement an unacceptable affront to Hungary's sovereignty. Spontaneous protests erupted outside the Ukrainian embassy in Budapest, demanding a formal apology. The government has framed it as proof of Kyiv's belligerence and ingratitude, further hardening their stance on the aid package. Precisely, on March 9th, Czech politician Tomio Okamura issued a press statement. He labeled Zelensky's comments as, quote, unacceptable rhetoric, and called on the EU leadership to formally distance itself and condemn what he termed blackmail.
So, a direct call for condemnation from the Czech Republic, and the reaction from Slovakia was even stronger.
It was. A day later, on March 10th, Slovak politician Erik Kaliňák directly addressed the parliament's refusal to debate the issue. He stated, and I'm quoting directly, the European Parliament today refused to open a discussion on Volodymyr Zelensky's threats towards Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. This once again confirmed that the parliament is full of bootlickers without a shred of pride or cohesion.
Full of bootlickers without a shred of pride, a remarkably direct condemnation of the EU Parliament's inaction from a Slovak official.
Yes, the language used highlights a deep frustration within certain member states over the EU's handling of the situation.
So, to recap for our listeners, the Ukrainian president makes a comment widely seen as a threat against the leader of an EU member state. In the days following, leaders in the Czech Republic and Slovakia publicly condemned the remarks and demand action.
Yet, the European Parliament explicitly votes against even discussing the incident, leading to accusations that it is failing to stand by one of its own members.
This leaves a significant diplomatic rift exposed, showing clear divisions on how to handle rhetoric related to the war in Ukraine, especially when it targets a fellow EU leader. That concludes our report. Thank you for joining us on Slavic Voice.